recording. This meeting is being recorded. Hello, everyone. So welcome to today's Go Digging. We're digging for our purpose. I am Labrina, your host with Better You Solutions. And today we have lovely ladies here who all have started their business and their journey separately. I would love for each lady to introduce themselves. Can we start off with Coach Dom?
All right. Hi, everybody. I am Coach Dom. I am a life coach. I specialize in mindset shifting. So I help my clients unlearn old behaviors, old patterns, anything that just doesn't serve them in their life and where they want to take their life. So that's pretty much what I do. I used to be a fitness coach for a couple years, but then I just realized I wanted to do more and have more hands-on with my clients. So I just transitioned on to being a coach in general with mindset coaching. So that's what I do. I've been a coach for about 5 years now, total, between fitness and life coaching.
That's great. Anyone want to jump in and go next?
I'll go ahead and get it over with. Yeah, I'm Angelica Early. I'm an author. I wrote Sister, You're Better Than That. I'm a content and digital creator. I've been doing that since 2018. I teach other people how to engage and draw more followers to what they have, their pages, videos. Right now, I'm trying to work on a second book because I just found out that I actually do like writing after I wrote the first book. It is doing good. I'm really shocked at how it's doing. You just never know what you can do until you do it, honestly. I'm a co-founder with my sister. We have a nonprofit organization. It's called Graced. And it's basically we give to the homeless and needy, the teens, those who are in rough areas. Sometimes we miss those spots and we go straight into those that, some people, they just go to the ones that have it all, they don't really need it. But we try to hit those areas that really need help the most. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I hope I wasn't too fast with talking.
No, you do a lot. Thank you.
I guess I'll go to get it out the way also. I'm Bernicia Green. Right now, I'm currently a high school teacher, but I do have just something starting up that I do with young girls. It's called hashtag Know Your Worth. And I say it's more than just a hashtag, but it's a movement. And we all have to learn as we grow, as we get older, that knowing your worth is very important. If you don't know who you are, you just subjective to fall for literally anything. And I'm 28 and I think I just started learning my worth maybe when I turned 27. So yeah, I want to reach the kids as they're before they get to this age, before like Coach Dumb, like you've already gotten these habits already, and it's hard to break them. So we're trying to get the girls to know their worth from like a younger age, so that as they grow, they can stand on who they are and believe who they are. But that's just know your worth.
Guess I'll jump in. My name is Raisha Moore. I am a mental health and wellness therapist, as well as a business strategist. I actually am also a traveling clinician. So I travel throughout the state. Right now, throughout the state of California, I've had different contracts in other states. But with saying that, I'm also a huge networker and influencer, to where I try to link individuals together to build community, build space, so that they can grow, they can learn, and they can operate in their best selves. So.
All right, so I guess I'm the last one. Hi everybody, my name is Daria. Y'all got to excuse my 2 minutes of tardiness. I had to run upstairs. I was out of breath, so I didn't want y'all to see me out of breath by the time I got on the camera. My name is Daria. Oh gosh, I always like to tell people I am a woman of many hats. I'm a registered nurse. I have my own nonprofit organization. It's called INU Foundation, and this foundation is geared towards young ladies and teens. And what this foundation consists of, I want to let the girls see who they really are. And once they see who they really are, they know that they have a goal to strive to become that person, the better person inside of them. So our slogan, our saying is seeing yourself is strength, because I believe that once you see who you really are, there's no stopping you to get to that person. There's no stopping you to get to where you're trying to go. A little bit about the organization. We do a lot of nonprofit. The girls are here almost every weekend. This is not their weekend. They were here last weekend. So we deal with them. I always tell them, you know, I literally wear a lot of hats. So you guys might see my hands in some of everything we deal with. A night of questions, I literally wear a lot of hats. I'm a wife, a mom, a teacher, I'm the one that's gonna pull out the belt. I'm that village auntie that I'm gonna tell you, if you leave your kids with me and they mess up, I'm gonna beat them, and then I'm gonna call you and say, this is, you know, this is what we did. You know, that's me. I don't know how else to pretty much sum it up, besides I literally wear a lot of hats. So I always ask you, who do you want today? You can either get Mrs. Adams, you can get Coach Adams, or you get Mama D, you can get the counselor, you can get the nurse, you can get the prophet, the pastor. Who do you want today? So I wear a lot of hats, and I do believe as we, you know, go through this next hour, we'll be able to reveal some of those hats. But nice meeting all of you guys.
Thank you for that. Thank you. And I just want to piggyback off of that. We're going to our next question of, how did you find your purpose? How did you know what you're doing now is something you wanted to do? Or how did you gear towards that? Just in case a lovely lady out there or a male wants to do something similar to what you all are doing.
Okay. Well, my how did I find my purpose? I always said that I wanted to be, you know, a pediatrician growing up, because I love kids. I always loved kids. But then I also wanted to, when I was in maybe my first or second year of college, I took one psych class, and it was very, very interesting. And I should have switched then, but you know, I said, let me finish out nursing, because everybody be like, nobody never finished that program. So with, like, I tell people, like, I was a teenage mom, you know, I was 16, and I always tell, I was 16 when I had my daughter, and I always tell the girls that I didn't have a me. The me that they have, I didn't have that person. I didn't have somebody to go and talk to ask these type of questions, or ask about sex. Yes, I had my mom, but we all know back then growing up, them generation, mama, it is what it is. You don't come talk to me about no sex. And if I find out you having sex, you getting a whooping. So I can't speak for everybody. I didn't have the open door policy to go sit and talk. So when I found my purpose, my mom herself also was a teenage mom, and then one of my younger sisters was a teenage mom, and now one of my nieces is just become a teenage mom. And I don't want to see this, even though yes, I still graduated on time with my class and still finished college. It was a struggle. And if I could just feel like, if I could have just lived out my, you know, my life and party, you know, did the whole college without a baby and everything. So when it came to finding my purpose, and my main goal is to, when they teach us in nursing school, they give us 3 levels. You got the tertiary, the secondary, and the preventative level. And I try to work with those levels. We can prevent it, if we can stop it, or if it's there, we already deal with it. So when it came to me finding my purpose, I don't what is the word? I don't despise my past, because I know it, even though I was like, if I could have changed that, I would have. So I don't despise my past, because it helped me discover who I am, because I don't want to see any of the other girls have to literally put their life on hold to have a baby. Because grandmas these days ain't raising no kids. I don't care what you say. Grandmas, they say they outside. They live their life. My mama told me they outside this generation. So I just want them to, just live life to the fullest, enjoy everything. So if I can stop it, I know I may not be able to prevent everything, but if I can give you the tools and knowledge on to deal with whether it's anxiety, depression, suicidal, family crisis, anything, I'm here for it.
That's great.
Sorry.
That's great. I agree with you. I myself wear many hats. So I understand exactly where you're coming from. Anyone else would like to speak after her?
I think I want to go next just because I want to piggyback off of what she said. Mom B, yeah. So basically the same thing, kind of like me, growing up in a neighborhood to where you didn't have that influence. You didn't have those individuals to say, hey, this is what this is and this is what this shouldn't be. It was kind of like you're in a situation and you don't really really know, or you're scared to go to somebody to kind of even talk to, because if you do go to them, you already know the consequences of what's going to happen. Much like, again, my journey, I didn't have any mentors growing up. Of course, you have people in the church, but I never really had anyone my age per se that I can go and talk to. I never knew really about college, what was out there, how to invest, how to keep money in your pocket. All it was for me was, oh, well, you're going to become another statistic. If you get 3 kids, you can get on the county and you can, get money for your kids this way and that way. So you knew the hustle life, if anything. But for me, I knew that there was definitely, you would see other individuals, especially here on the West Coast, you see a lot of other kids, there's other families and you see them come together. And it was kind of like, I really wanted that lifestyle. And it really wasn't until I got to a place where I'm like, I have to get out of my neighborhood. I have to know that there's something better for me. And going into college, I learned so much more. I didn't know about HBCUs until one individual approached me about an HBCU. And in going to an HBCU in the South, I learned so much more, not just about myself, but about my culture, about who I was and how I grew up, which actually promoted me into the idea of networking, learning how to network, learning how to bring people together and put them into the right space so that they can also learn and be taught. So I think that was kind of, again, my purpose of moving forward with, again, like piggybacking off of what Ms. Mamdi said, how we can be better and how we can ultimately grow. So.
Mm-hmm. I'll go next if that's fine. All right. Well, I feel like, in all honesty, I've been coaching my whole entire life. I've been the go-to person for my entire family, friends, everything, with my mom being my number one client. So growing up, like I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm not sure if anybody know where that's at, but grew up like in a rough neighborhood. We didn't have much. And sometimes I'd come home, we wouldn't have lights. Sometimes I'd come home, we wouldn't have food. And like going through that, I always knew that I wanted to be something for someone. Like I wanted to be a person that I didn't have growing up. So in all actuality, I really do feel like I've been coaching my entire life, but I feel like I really found my purpose after I lost my son just recently, a year ago. And I had to go through the mental process of getting back to normal state. Because in my mind, I wanted to freeze time. I wanted time to stop so it could just allow me to get back to where I needed to be. But of course, everyone knows time doesn't stop. So I had to really fix myself up. And what I told myself was, every day you have to be better than yesterday. So if you cry 10 times today, you can only cry 9 times tomorrow. So, I really just picked myself up. And I really feel like that's when I really got into like, okay, if I could do it for myself, I really want to take people out of the space in which I was in, because I was in a dark moment, a dark time in my life. And I learned how to get myself out of that through the things that I do and learning how to change my mindset. So I really wanted to help people do the same thing in which I did for myself. So I'll say that's probably when I really did it.
I'm gonna piggyback off her. I can relate with the lights and the water and coming home. Sometimes we would bring our lunch to school so I wanted to eat. It was just that bad. A lot of people don't know that because sometimes you've been taught to hide and you learn how to deal with certain things that you're going through. And that's what we had adjusted to. Well, we grew up in Fullerton and then we ended up moving. I feel like us moving probably wasn't the best decision because we didn't have anybody else where we moved. So we struggled a lot. And we were taught to mask our feelings, emotions. You go to school, don't let nobody know what's going on with you. They would never know because, you, as a parent, my mom as a single parent, you're still taken care of as far as your clothes, your shoes. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't to where anybody could tell something was going on. And it would happen like every other day with the lights and food, and I hated staying in the Salvation Army lines and the church services lines, trying to get that nasty potted meat. I just, I hated it. And I told myself when I get older and when I have kids, I will never, ever put them in this situation. So I did go to school. I went to college and it was the different experience for me. Everybody, they had what they needed and I had to do work study to get what I needed. I was there, doing what I was supposed to do. I had a track scholarship, but at the same time, you still don't have your necessities because you're there by the grace of God. At least for me, it was. And I ended up leaving, and then I got married at 21, which is what I found to be, it's the best thing. I'm glad I did it and I won't change it for anything. But you struggle, you're young, and we had our ups and downs at first, and it was difficult. It was just a lot. We didn't know, a lot of things, and I had like a rough patch where I didn't have absolutely nobody, and it literally forced me to have to depend on me, solely me. So when I got to that place, that's what made me start doing the digital creating, the content creating, because I felt like I know what it's like to be here for myself. So why can't, I be there for someone else in just this way that I'm doing? And it's helped so many people so far just by doing that. You never know what simple words can do for somebody in a day. I've had a lot of people tell me, you just stopped me from committing suicide. You just stopped me from doing this or doing that. And that makes me feel good because it's like when I was in that place, I didn't have nobody to, tell me, oh, thank you for, I didn't have nobody to go to. I didn't have anybody there for me when I was going through my struggles. So I told myself I would be that person there for somebody from here on out because I know what it's like not to have anybody when you're going through. And that's what I've been doing ever since. And we really work hard to try to be the best for our kids because I don't want them in the situation that we were in. And it's just it's the struggles they make us. I feel like everything happens for a reason. And I feel like each one of us have our own struggles and we're helping people in different ways. And it's a good thing. And people really don't know your story. They just see you, what you do, what you dress, how you carry yourself, but they don't really know the real you. And I feel like that's what we have the opportunity to do here. So, I mean, to come this far from where I was, it's a blessing, and you can see where God is taking everybody. So I'm just grateful, and that's pretty much my little journey.
I guess I'm the last one, so I will share my journey. Um, Growing up, I was the only girl and I was a pastor's kid. So, for me, it's like people think that pastor's kids shouldn't go through anything. They just have everything all laid out for them. Everything is all nice and wonderful, and Jesus works wonders just because it's the pastor's household. And it's just like, I feel like my things were so much worse than everybody, but I had to put on mind you, I'm very, very, very emotional. So for me to be such an emotional person and not be able to show my emotions, and then I'm the only girl, so I'm in a household with people who they don't have the emotions. They don't see mom the way I see mom. I feel mom. I feel my mom. When my parents got a divorce, I said I would never get a divorce. I would never let my child go through being without her dad. And then when I got married young, and earlier young lady says she don't regret it, but I think I'm gonna take it and be like, hey, I don't regret it, and because it's a part of the journey. So today, you helped me right there. You helped me right there. So it's not that I regret it, but and I think I stayed so long in something that was not for me, just because in my mind I can't be like mom. I can't let my daughter go through without having dad there, because I feel like I was broken. I feel like my dad wasn't there. Mind you, my dad was. I can call him. I can see him. We went there every summer, but I still felt so empty because my dad wasn't there, and it started since I was a child. Like what about me didn't make dad worthy enough to want to stay? And I deal with that in like relationship after relationship after relationship, and it's like I've built cycles within myself where I go through the same cycle, different person, same cycle, different person, same cycle, different person. And like I said, I'm 28, and it wasn't until I'm 27 so I realized, okay, I have to break this cycle. I have this little girl looking at me crying every day. I have this little girl looking at me not happy, not understanding where I am, not understanding what to do. Like I have a little girl that I'm ready to risk me not being here and her being by herself, because I'm so broken and I'm so damaged. And it's just like, why does she deserve that part of me? Like, why does she deserve that part of me? So it wasn't until like I got pregnant with my daughter that I realized, okay, you have to learn who you are. You have this daughter coming into this world. She's growing up, and anybody that knows my child, she's very outspoken. She's very independent. Like she's nothing like mom. I'm very mild and timid. I have a voice, but I don't let it be known that much. But my daughter is going to say what she has to say, and that's the end of the conversation. And it's just like I have to build myself up. So my journey is to start at her age. Like it starts in the house. Like, nope, you're beautiful. Like you can do this. You can shoot for the stars. You can do whatever you want to do. Like even as a young single mom, like I teach all day. I coach cheerleading, then got to go to church and put on the hat of a youth pastor. Then you just everybody expects for everything to be all together, and it's just like, oh my gosh. And I just have those days where I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, what am I really doing? Like, I don't understand. And I just want young girls to know, like, it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know who you are yet. It's okay to feel these emotions. It's okay to go through whatever you are going through right now. It's okay. But at some point you have to stop with the same cycle. A lot of times we put ourselves in situations. We do it ourselves, and we keep doing it to allow ourselves to get broken and broken and broken and broken and broken. And if we can stop those cycles at a younger age, it'll help them mentally to, okay, no, I don't have to tolerate this. I don't have to tolerate that. I can keep growing and growing, knowing that I'm so much better than what this person is doing. I'm so much better than what I think about myself. So know your worth is just founded off of just trying to get them to understand, like, it's shooting be I say shoot beyond the stars, because there's so much more up there. Everybody just want to focus on the stars when they look in the sky, but there's like a whole nother world beyond those stars. And I just want people, and it's not just young girls, young men also, they need to see that they are worth something also. So I just want them to know that. So that's my little journey.
Y'all are like, y'all don't understand what y'all saying right now and what y'all are displaying for other people to see once they watch this video, because you are speaking on things that most people are afraid to speak on. A lot of people feel this way. A lot of people go through these things, but a lot of people are afraid to actually say these things out loud. They may tell a friend and ask that friend to keep it to themselves, but they don't expose themselves and what they're really going through, what they're feeling, and how they were able to get through those obstacles. You know, sometimes we leave someone behind. Oh, they'll figure it out, or we just think they're good. Um, like someone said earlier, we you never show it. You try to hide it from the world when really in the inside you're breaking down. You have so many questions, and I love when you said, Bernicia, that it's okay not to be okay, because a lot of people feel like you can't cry, you can't be weak. We all have those moments. Let's be honest. We all have those moments. It doesn't make you a weak person. It doesn't make you less of a person. But y'all making me real happy right now.
I don't want to say something in response to that as well. You know, a lot of us, we go through these situations in life and we feel like, you know, we have to be, a lot of young people feel like they have to be this way or they have to be that way and they have to be perceived a certain way in life, not realizing, one, when we grow older, this is going to create attachment styles. And then even in those attachment styles, we might meet somebody later on in life. And then next thing you know, we have this trauma bonding pattern that starts to come up. We start to create these things with us. And then we start to realize, okay, well, where did this start to happen? How did this happen? You know, I run into a lot of people like that. They're trying to figure out like, how do I move forward in life? And I keep running into the same cycle, the same person over and over and over again. A lot of those are definitely, you know, the trauma bonding patterns. And so a lot of times what a lot of coaches will do, will try to break those things down. Let's start from the beginning. And we find that it's through our attachment styles, the way that we kind of grew up in life. So, you know, a lot of things of what you know, what you're talking about, it's sad that it's kind of become the norm with a lot of young ladies, a lot of people just in general, and especially women of color. I've noticed that, you know, so it's a good thing. I'm thankful for Coach Coleman for bringing this party together, because it sounds like everyone has that shared experience, you know, but yeah.
And I want to leave off with that by going to our next question of what does support look like to you?
I'll go. I'll say, I feel like support is almost like kind of just having your tribe, the group of people, because a lot of people look to maybe like their family because that's who they know. But I feel like having support is like building those bonds with people, building a tribe of people that are there to help you on this journey, because life is a journey in itself. And we all need somebody sometime. We really do. And I know a lot of us are so used to being there for ourselves and being that person for ourselves, but at the end of the day, we also have to know that, you know, we need somebody at some time. So I feel like support is just building a tribe of different people, like friends you meet, family members, you know, whatever the case may be, just a group of people that are going to be there for you on your journey.
I feel like for me, support, just like Coach Dom said, is your tribe. Like, it doesn't have to be family, it doesn't have to be friends. It's 9 times out of 10, it's not the people that you expect to be there that is actually there. Like, it's many a times that I expected this person to go to bats for me and be there, but it turns out to be this little person. I'm like, oh, okay. And a lot of people, they think support is either you have to be okay with everything I do. One thing about, I like a support system that's going to tell me, okay, no, you were wrong. But not, don't tell me I'm wrong and then bash me and dog me because I am wrong. But I want you to tell me that I'm wrong. Okay, girl, now let's get up and let's move. Don't, support is being honest, support is being real, and support is being true. Like, I need a support system around me that's not going, if I'm having a bad day, I'm not going to hear my bad day from nobody else. I'm not going to hear my bad day 2 weeks later or anything like that. You just throwing it in my face. Oh, you should never did that. You should never. But on my bad day, you telling me, okay, this is how you could have got yourself out of it. You may have did this to yourself. So support is just people that truly want the best for you. Like, I don't care if it's friends, coworkers. Like I said, 9 out of 10 is not those people that we expect to have our back, because some people like us being in those depressed stages. They like us being in those sad stages to where we think they are supporting us, but it's just misery loving company at that point. So I need somebody that's support. To me, looks like you getting me up out of my misery and I'm helping you up out of your misery too.
I like what Ms. Green just said with regards to that, because I was going to say, for me, I know support is not just having a tribe, but it also is me showing up for myself, me doing the work, me putting myself into a place to where I can say, you know what, I'm done being here. So I need to go there. I need to surround myself with the individuals that can be like-minded and put me into a place and a space to where I know that I'm going to feel a little bit better, I'm going to move forward with myself. If that means getting a coach, if that means showing up to therapy, if that means taking a walk outside in nature and getting sun to shine on my face because I'm still living and I have life in me, that is what support, overall support, looks like to me. Making sure that I'm doing the work for myself, because there's going to be times when, we could say, oh, our tribe is here, our tribe is there, but everybody got a lot going on. There are a lot of times where people got their own things going on. So you got to know how to be there for yourself and to pick yourself up out of that depression, up out of that state, to say, you know what, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to make it to 3 a.m. I'm going to make it to the morning, to when I can maybe speak to somebody to see, if we can communicate a little bit better. But knowing how to get yourself into the next place, that's kind of what support looks like for me too.
Well, for support, because I what I did notice that a lot of us, if I'm not mistaken, had to say that, I had to bring myself up out of this. I had to find who I am. We didn't have these type of people in our life. So support, to me, I believe in a village. It's tribe, village. I believe in a village, and everybody brings something different to the table. So what, Miss Green may carry, what Coach Dawn, more, or Miss Angie, I'm just calling you Angie because I want to miss her name. What you guys, or Coach Coleman, what you guys may carry, it may be something that I need. And I do believe that, different friends, different people serve different purposes in your life. And I know sometimes we always just want to say, oh, I got my ace boom coom, I got this person, I got this person. And we put so much faith into this one individual, and this person, they end up letting us down. So when I look for support, it's not, okay, you got to call me every day. You got to be around me every day. I look for somebody that, even if, I know we said that we have to be there for ourselves, somebody that can pick me up, or they tend to notice that, okay, something's going off with Adam. She ain't acting herself. Something going off with this person. They ain't acting themselves, and I do, trust me, I do understand that, everybody have their own lives and their things, but just somebody around that's able to pick you up and say, hey, you good? I'm checking on you. What's going on? You seem a little off. You seem a little different. Oh, there was something that oh, Jesus Christ, bring it back, that was said in regards to, I always tell people that I would emphasize with you, but I won't sympathize with you. Because if I begin to sympathize with you, now I begin to allow you to be comfortable in that place, allow you to be comfortable in that mess place that you're in. So with sympathy, I always tell them, I understand. Trust me, I understand what you're going through. Now let's get up, let's pick it up. And just as Coach Green, Coach Dum, you guys, I don't want to hear my business out in the streets, because we also, have to make sure that we remain and hold that confidentiality level. Like I always tell my kids, whenever they sit with me, what happens between here is between me, you, and God. I can't take God out of it, because he's sitting right here listening. And the only way that something or anybody else, y'all think I'll be, listen, I'm be honest. I tell them, only time there's something where anybody else will have to intervene if it's, detrimental to you, and now we have to get to that point where we have to bring somebody in, because guess what? I need a little bit more back in dealing with the situation that we got at hand. I always say a village. And there was something that your mom actually said to me, well, she said in one of our classes, your support team, you don't want to be, I get it, we want to be around like-minded people, but she said something to me that, and it struck him. She said, be around people that's smarter than you. Your team needs to be somebody that you cannot afford. And I said, well, how I'm gonna put these people on my team if I can't afford them? I ain't got, because they cost some money. She said, don't worry about paying them, just get them on your team. She said, if you can afford them, you don't need them. Get you somebody that you cannot afford. If you the smartest person on your team, baby, you ain't going nowhere. So I don't look to be, the big-headed person. Teach me. I support means teach me, show up for me. Let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know I'm wrong. There was a time in my life I had, I was with friends or whatever. I love them dearly, and I don't regret the season that we had, but they were my alibis, they were my liars, they were my cover-ups. And, you know, I got married at a young age, and I was doing me. And do you think I have friends that say, no, Adam, you know, you can't do this. You can't. No, they went along with what I wanted to do. Tell me if I'm wrong. If you can't tell me that I'm wrong and say, okay, Adam, you tripping, I don't need you around me, because then guess what? You're going to allow me to falter back into a place where I had to fight so hard to come up out of. So I need people with support. I need somebody that's, you know, that's a little stronger than me. That's smarter than me. That's, you know, that'll say, okay, I know you whoop kids, but today you need a whooping because you acting childish. It's okay. Tell me I act childish. And my response may be, yeah, I'm a child of God, but I get what you're coming from. So support to me, it comes in all type of forms. I don't want nobody around me that's afraid or a yes person. Tell me you messing up. If you can't tell me you messing up, then that means I know I can use you. If I decide to mess up in the future, I got an alibi. And I don't want them type, you know, I know I'm supposed to be down for flats, but I wouldn't want them type of people no more. Nothing against them. I just emphasize with me, but don't sympathize with me. Get me up, help me up out of this mess as I help you up out of yours. That's what support looks like to me.
I agree with everybody. For me, it's on an emotional, spiritual, and mental level. I need people around me that can lift me up in those areas. As I thank God for my husband, because he does. When I have nobody else, I do have him that I can lean on. I do have siblings, but I do understand they have their own lives. So when it comes to it, I know I can go to him, and he's busy too. So I kind of try to be there for me too. I have to support. I'm a person. I support myself first, and then because I feel like I can do everything, and I really can't at the end of the day. And then I go whining and complaining because I found out that I'm not, you know, we're not as strong as we think. Everybody needs somebody. And then when you have that good tribe, those good people around you that can uplift you, that can promote you, that can create a positive vibe all around, you know, then you know you have the right people in your life. You know, I'm like she said, she's 20, you're 28, Miss Green. She said you're 20. I'm 29, and I'm literally just finding out different things about life, because it took me a long time, because I was always the nice person that just let people do any and everything to me. And I'm finally at that point where I'm not letting it happen anymore. So I'm finding out those who really support and those who really don't. And the thing is, most of my supporters are strangers. They're not friends, they're not family. They're people I know nothing about. They're people who I've never met. They're people who are willing to get by, be positive. There are people I don't know nothing about, and they're there for me more than anybody in my family has ever been. And that says a lot to me, because that means that they support me regardless of what happened in my past, regardless of what they know about me, regardless, because they don't know me. They don't know anything about me. They just know what they see. They see you putting out this stuff. They see you being positive. They see you being there for them. So they're going to return the favor, versus people who heard rumors about you, who people, it's just lying. It's just going on and on. But I'm at that point where if I can be around people who can support me on those levels, I'm grateful, because I know I can do the same thing in a return to you. It means just being there and supporting me without bashing it, or, you know, you don't have to let the world know that you supported me. Support it, you can, you know, share a post, or you can just text me and say, hey, you know, I did blah, blah, blah. I don't need you making a whole Facebook post and tagging me in it, letting me know, oh, I bought 300 copies for you. You don't have to do that. That's not support to me. That's bragging. That's saying that if you have to let the world know that you supported me, you're not supporting me. It is for your own cause. Do not throw back in my face what you did for me, because to me, that means it's not about the support. It's about you want everybody to know what you did just to say you did it, type thing to me. And support the people that support me. Sometimes I don't even know. You know, I just see their name. I just see that they did it, and they keep moving. To me, that's genuine support. You really care about what I'm doing, and you really care about me. You know, I've had people that I can go on and on. I'm learning as I go. I'm learning how to deal with people. I'm learning what to say, what not to say. I'm learning those who are there and who aren't in there. And it's important because you get frustrated and you get in these little, I know me, these like I used to get in these little areas in my life where I'm like I'll complain to my husband all the time. And I'm like, now you see what they just did? She did not have to put this post up there saying, and he was like, why are you worried about it? And I'm like, because I don't like that. She only did it just to say, and he was like, okay, you need to calm down, be quiet. It's not about and he was like, look at the people who you have in your corner besides them. You know to separate yourself from those people versus the people who actually care about you. And that's what I started doing. And I see the difference because now I don't even hear from the people who I thought were supporting me. If I hear from them, they need something. And, as a Christian, I have to be okay with that. I can't, turn them away, but I can, be here for you in so many ways without, putting myself out there to be, so you can be a burden to me. So supports me emotional, mentally, and spiritually. Those are ways, if you can support me there, then I feel like that's genuine support. I feel like being there for others and the same things being returned to you, that's genuine support to me. So that's what support means to me.
All right, and following that, our next question. If you could write a letter to any woman in the Bible, any woman, who would it be and why?
Well, I'll go. I say I say Queen Esther. I like her a lot. I say Queen Esther because she was courageous. She was brave. She was a hero for those. She basically risked her life to help other people. And I feel like as women, as what we do, I don't say we risk our lives, but we put ourselves out there, our time, because it's our passion. We love helping people and we do whatever it takes to help others, whether we're a coach, a teacher, or mom, wife, all of these things, we're putting ourselves out there for somebody else. So someone else can succeed from what we've been through. And I feel like she displayed that, like her leadership, all of that portrays with Esther. And my letter to her would just be, thank you. What tips do you have? If she was still here, I'd be trying to reach out to her. It'd be like, what tips do you have for leadership? Being bold. What tips do you have for women, of this age? What of the generation today? What would you say to us? So it would definitely be Queen Esther for me. She was brave, and she brought a lot to the table.
If I had to write a letter to a woman in the Bible, it'll go unnamed because she didn't have a name in the Bible. It was actually the woman at the well. What I love about her, that even when she met Jesus, she didn't keep that to herself. She didn't keep that. She didn't keep that. That the Lord told her, hey, if you drink from this well, you will never thirst again. She didn't keep it to herself. She went out and she gave it out to other people to help those people out in the world. And I know she came up against, I'm assuming she came up against some naysayers, some discouraging people, some people that says this ain't never gonna work. How we never gonna thirst again? How you gonna do this? Who is this person that giving you all this information? I do understand that she came up against those, but she still went anyways, despite her past, because when she met Jesus at the well, she had a past and Jesus was telling her about herself, but he didn't take her past and he didn't use it against her. And he just said, hey, drink from this well. And she went out and she gathered more people. And why I say I will write a letter to her, because I would want to know, okay, I understand how she started out, but how did you get through it? How did you get through it out? Especially being a woman in what they call a man's world, trying to give people tools, trying to give people resources to live better, and people looking at you like, okay, what are you doing? What you think is going to happen by doing this? So when I think of her, and if I compare if I think of her and compare the vision the mission of everything that the foundation stands for. It's to give, you know, young ladies tools to overcome a lot of things, even when a lot of people, when people found out that I was doing therapy, one of the things that they said to me was, "You acting like white people. Why are you going to therapy? You acting like white people." But they didn't and it actually came from somebody that was so close to home, so close to me. And to hear them say that, you know, you acting like white people going to get therapy, but they didn't understand that, you know, when I sat there, you know, in therapy, this lady was giving me tools to deal with anger management. She was giving me tools to deal with PTSD. She was giving me tools to deal with depression. She was giving me tools to deal with a lot of things. And you know, sometimes I sit back now today and I think about, dang, you know, she was you know, a little whatever, but they always say the crazy ones always be the ones that's counseling you. But she gave me a lot of tools and a lot of resources, and she helped me a lot. So if I had to compare myself or write a letter, it would actually be to that lady at the well. Where to be addressed to, I don't know, because she's unnamed. There was no name. She just came and she began to work. She began to see that, you know, somebody gave her resources to overcome and to live happy, live long, and you know, not thirst for those things that she once used to do, and that it would be easier to overcome. She went out and gave the people the tools, not necessarily say, hey, get this cup and go drink from it. She gave them tools and resources to help sustain them. So it would be her, unaddressed, unknown. It'll probably just be at the well when she come back, hey, take this here from the well.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, when I read that question, when you sent it to me, I sat there for a moment because I was thinking, like, which way could I take it? So I was stuck between two. It was between Eve, and it was between, I believe her name was Sarah, the one who got turned to salt from looking back in that story. And the reason why it was between those two is because I really just wanted to know their mindsets. Like, I wanted to know what mindset Eve was in when she made the decision she made. I wanted to, like, understand, because at the end of the day, there's always different perspectives to everything. So I really wanted to understand. And I know that sounds, yeah, but I really want to know. And the lady who turned around, I want to know why. Like, what did she feel like she was losing? What did she feel like she was missing in order for her to turn around? So those were my two. Yeah.
I'll piggyback off of that. Much like Coach Dom, I kind of struggle with that question too, because I'm like, I want to write to all of them, to be honest with you. But I thought about Eve, yes, and I also thought about Ruth. I thought about Eve per se. It wasn't going to necessarily be a letter of like, why'd you do this? You got us all in this situation, you know? But it was more so a letter of motivation, to let her know, you know what, although things happened, although you did what you did, it's okay, because of the God that we serve, the God who, you know, you knew, you walked with. That God was such a forgiving God and an understanding God. It was going to be a letter to motivate her, to remind her, you know, that although we mess up in life, we still get a second chance. It may not be the way that we envisioned it, but it's still a chance. It's a chance to make it better. It's a chance to make it right. And I think that was going to be my letter. At least that's what I felt like I would write a letter to Eve, to remind her, like, you know what, no matter what it is, no matter what you're going through, stay strong, stay close to the one who made you, stay close to the one who knows you. And then for Ruth is so inspiring to me, because even though she went through turmoil, she lost her husband, she continued the journey with her mother, with her mother-in-law. And that really speaks to me. It speaks life into me, because it's like, you know what, no matter what you're going through, stay true to who you are, stay true to what you know. And eventually that's ultimately what she did. She stayed true to her newfound character in Naomi. And in doing so, she was richly blessed. Obviously, she is the lineage of God, and it's kind of like, wow, if she had went off and decided to do something else, she wouldn't have been blessed the way she was. So to me, it was going to more so be a letter to thank her, to say, you know what, thank you for motivating me, to remind me to stay on the path that is destined before me. Even though I may not understand it, I may not see what it's looking like, but even if there are pits and falls and there's turmoils, continue to stay the path. And again, things will turn out the way that it should in the end.
You would think this would be such an easy question when all you've read your whole life is the Bible. And I got stuck between two people, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't know which way I wanted to take it. Did I want to? It was horrible just picking the two, but one is unnamed and one name is Mary. It's the woman with the issue of blood, and Mary with the alabaster box. And my letter to them wanted to say, what gave y'all the courage to go and touch Jesus' feet? Like, what gave y'all the courage? Like the woman with the issue of blood, she struggled with that issue for years. And because she was bleeding, she couldn't be around people. Like, how did you go through that? And I know when I'm in the house by myself in my emotions, having a tough day, that one day drives me crazy because I'm just like, I got to get out of here. I got to get to somebody. How did you struggle with not being able to be with nobody, not being able to get that comfort, and just struggle with it by yourself? Because I know I probably would have went crazy. I would have wanted to die or something like that. And then you still, like, you went past your issue and like crawled to Jesus in between all of his disciples and all of these people that were trying to get to him. You were desperate. I'm trying to see, like, how do I get to that point to say, all right, look, I'm desperate. Like, I don't care what issues I'm facing. I just know there is something greater for me. And even with the one with the alabasters, Mary with the alabaster box, the people said, why would you let her touch you, Jesus? Why would you let her? Because I guess she was a prostitute, and so she wasn't worthy in their eyes. And once again, the question, how did you go outside of yourself? How did you go outside of what people had to say about you? Because I'm big on, like, I need deliverance from people. I need help from people, because soon as people say something to me, I'm ready to go back in the shell. Oh, you shouldn't be coaching these young girls because you still as broken as ever. And I'm just like, yeah, well, yeah, I'm right. I don't need to be talking to nobody because I'm still broken. I don't need to be doing none of this because I'm still dealing with my own issues. And it's just like, what gave them the strength to, I don't care about my issue. I don't care what people have to say. I just know I got to get to this destination, and I need this destination. So my question to them is just a question, and just tell them, hey, give me a little bit of that strength you got. Just give me a little bit of that courage you got. I need something of what you got so I can get to my destination. So it was between those two. That was a good question, by the way.
We couldn't hear you. You were talking. Well, so now that everyone else has answered, I for one pick Jezebel, because everyone looks at when you hear the word Jezebel, you think the worst. And a lot of us, as we expressed today, we kind of went through things. We expressed stuff that we may have considered the worst to us, or others outside looking in may have considered the worst. So Jezebel, she was judged. She was considered the worst. She just did things that was out of the way, but at the same time, she showed courage. She stepped out to do things that was considered not normal, not right, but it led to a different place. So that I want to compare that to how others may feel as if they're Jezebel. Maybe you have done some things that's not considered correct or it's inappropriate, but you still can move forward. So that's why I would like to write a letter to Jezebel and so she still can move forward. Pretty much what you ladies have said as well. So not always trying to find out how to make something a negative, but how we can thank you for taking a negative and turn it into a positive. You still can move forward, and that was my letter to Jezebel. Does anyone have any additional comments before we start wrapping up today's meeting?
I'll just say, oh,
No, go, Miss Angie, go.
I just want to say I enjoyed everybody's input. I just enjoyed what y'all had to say. I did. I was actually excited about today, and to see that other people can relate to you. It's a good feeling. Like just so like surround yourself with like-minded people. It's always a great thing. So I'm grateful for it. I was grateful for the opportunity. And I learned something from each one of y'all today. So it was good.
I just want to say that I'm grateful for the opportunity to meet each and every one of you. The questions was amazing. They were needed, and I can honestly say that it helped me. It put me in a place of remembrance today of the God that I still serve and who He is. Because I fought with if I can be honest, I fought with getting on the live today, and I kept saying, and I called my leader and I said I want to cancel. He was like, why do you want to cancel? I said I just don't feel up to it. I don't think that I got what it takes, because the last couple of days have been kind of rough in me, and everybody sees that, okay, she's so strong, but nobody knows that, or nobody can see when I'm breaking down, or if there's something that may be going on. So today I really wanted to cancel. I didn't want to get on at all today because of my own situation. But as I sat and talk with you guys and put it in the remembrance of how strong I actually am, and the things that I've overcome in the past, that no matter whatever I may be dealing with, that this too shall pass. And I know that whenever I come up against a struggle, it's like, okay, you have an assignment to do. And it's like, okay, you want to counsel. I know that there was something, even from hearing, each and every one of you ladies, a portion, I'm going to just say a small portion of your testimonies, because I know that's more and more that's to be shared. It helped me a lot. It gave me a push, another round to stay in the ring, to say, okay, I know there's 12 rings, but you got this, you know what I mean? You got this. You can go another round. You may have got the wind knocked out you this time, but you can go another round. So even though, like I said, a lot of people don't know, I always tell people, carry it with grace. And I carry a lot of things with grace. I carry a lot of things with a smile. So it was what I needed today. So I thank you, Coach Coleman, each and every one of you ladies that, I'm trying to make sure my lashes don't stay off. It was actually something that I needed to push me to get through the day, to get what I needed, because I really did. It was nothing personal. I really did want to just say, I can't do it, and but I couldn't find a good enough excuse to give to you to say that I can't come on. I can't come on. I didn't have a good enough excuse. I just kept saying, I don't want to do it. I should quit. But I was like, I don't have a good enough excuse to tell her that I can't come on. And like I said, it's nothing personal. It's, things that, whatever I may be dealing with. But I think each and every one of you, because it reminded me of the days that, listen, we ain't had no food, we ain't had no lights, but God still did it. We had to go stand in those summer food program lines, but God, He still did it. And I know He can do it, and He can fix it too. So I am grateful to be able to have met each and every one of you. I pray and look forward to seeing that, we can network in the future or however, it may be. But I thank you and I appreciate, your stories, a portion of your stories. It put me in a place of remembrance that said, if he did it before, he can do it again.
And I just wanted to say also, I thank everybody so much. Coach Coleman, if you guys didn't know, that is my cousin. Like, that is my favorite cousin. We've been like super close since we were kids. And I had a morning like Mrs. Adams on this morning. I'm like, no, I'm about to have to call my cousin, let her know I cannot do this. I'm in my emotions. I am in my feelings. I am no good to nobody today. I am no good to nobody today. And like I say, even with me choosing those two people in the Bible, I let so much of what I go through, I let it cover me to where I feel like I'm not worthy enough to do stuff. I'm not worthy enough to get on here with all these wonderful ladies and say how great Know Your Worth is, because I'm still struggling with, girl, you got to know your worth. Like, I'm still struggling with it. It's just like I've dropped the ball so much when it comes to Know Your Worth. Like, I started, get everything to go, and it's just like, and it's like everything knocks me back, and I'm just like, nope, can't do it. I get everybody excited, and I look, I know Mrs. Adams probably looking like, yeah, she be trying, they be trying to push me so much, and I'm just like, I don't want to do it. Nope. Life is just too horrible. And it's just like, I appreciate you guys for just getting on here, and especially like just, and then the fact that all of us are young and we're just still going, like going. And that is like amazing. Like, today was like very, very emotional for me. Like, when she came on and said she don't regret her young marriage, and today was my first time saying I don't regret it. Like, it helped me not regret it. Today was my first time in 2 years meeting with my child's father to give him his child. Like, she goes with him, but I always make sure there's somebody else to give him. I don't want to see him. And today was my first day seeing him, and it's just like, pick up your emotions, girl. Like, but I did it, and I did it with a smile. I didn't do it with anger. I didn't cry. Unfortunately, it happened like 30 minutes before the thing. So I'm just like, I can't cry because I'm going to get on here after I got my lashes. I'm ready, got my shirt. But I did it, and I really appreciate, like, I feel like I needed this moment. To me, this was like a counseling session for me. I don't have to call nobody later today like, okay, look, I need some guidance. I need some help. This was really like strength. Like, y'all were an answer to the letter I asked Mary and the lady with the issue of blood to give me some of their strength. I appreciate y'all's strength on today. Just the strength of, okay, yes, keep pushing. And even Coach Dom, you say you lost your child a year ago and you're still going, you're still able to coach people, you're still able to do everything that you need to do. And it's just like, that's strength. That is strength that I want. That is strength that I need. Cause it's just like, we look at ourselves as like we're in these worst moments, then you got to look at other people's story. They're still going. So get up. Y'all gave me a girl, get up on this morning. Girl, get up. Girl, get up. Girl, get up. So I appreciate all of you guys, cousin. I'm so super proud of you and everything. I thank you for bringing all these wonderful ladies into my life and into my day today. I really, really appreciate it.
I just really want to say, first of all, thank you to everybody on this panel. I am usually not someone that expresses themselves too much. And to just know that this was a safe space for me, it means a lot. I haven't been around, believe it or not, too many Black women that share in my experience as far as a lot of things that I've been going through, because my mind has always been focused on, oh, well, you got to get this, you got to get this. And it's always been racing, trying to be better than what I was in the past and not trying to look back and trying to push someone else forward. And being in this space today, it allowed me to kind of really sit within myself to know that I'm not alone. The fact that I am a therapist, and for so long, I never wanted to have a therapist because I was scared that they would report me. They would say, oh, well, you know, she can't do this, she can't do that because she's not stable. She's not this. And believe it or not, when you're going through your residency and your phases, they tell you, you know, we can report everything and we can say everything, but you can't, if you say that you're this or you say any of that, then we have to report you. So knowing that I can never go into a counseling session truly being who I am, it always sat with me like, well, I have to just hold this in. And I didn't have an outlet. I didn't have someone that I could just come and talk to. And it wasn't until I actually met Miss Coleman that it put into perspective, you do need someone. You do. As old as I am, I'm like, wait a minute now. I felt like, you know, well, I just have to deal with it. I just have to keep going. And to know that, again, there are like-minded women out there that have gone through the same thing I've gone through, that are going through things. You know, even though we show up, we're beautiful, we're this or that, we're all going through something. And it just reminded me to not sit with that so much in myself, not keep badgering myself like you always have to show up at 100%. You don't, you know, and so that really sat with me today. And I really thank you guys for that. And like I said, just having this space to know that there are women out there who share in a lot of things and what I'm going through. I thank you guys for sharing your story, for sharing your inspiration, for being motivational today. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Coleman, for reaching out to me. Like, I was like, when you wrote me, I'm like, of course. Like, I was already for it when you wrote me. And just piggybacking off of what Ms. Moore said, like, you just touched my heart hearing you say and speak what you just spoke about. I know, and I am connected to a few therapists, but I never knew that about therapists. I never knew that they couldn't say certain things in counseling sessions. And so to hear you speak that really just touched my heart, because I'm like, wow, you just never know what people go through. And I always honestly wanted to, when I got into coaching, therapy was my end goal. I wanted to be a therapist. I wanted to do that. And so just to hear your story, it just touched my heart. So, but thank you to everybody that spoke today. Like, we have so much in common. When I heard the two other ladies, or actually three, say how you guys got married young. I got married at 20. So hearing all of these things, I'm like, wow, this is amazing just to hear everybody speak and talk about everything that, you know, got them to this point. And even though we're all not like put together and we don't have it together, we're still striving to be the people we want to be for for the people that we didn't have, basically, is what I'm saying. So I just love that. And I am so thankful. And thank you guys for sharing y'all afternoon with me. It's 1 o'clock where I'm at. I'm not sure where everybody else is, but it's 1 o'clock. So thank you guys for sharing y'all afternoon with me. I appreciate it.
I just want to thank everyone for coming out and participating today. I know some of us it's 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. now, some of us 1 p.m. So we're all on different time zones right now, but we all made time to show up and vocalize our voices, to let our stories be heard. And I believe what we're doing right now is just a start. It's just a start of either birthing something within us as a group or birthing something for us individually. And it may birth something in someone else who may watch this video later. Like I said before we began, we don't know what we're doing, what we're stirring up right now, but we know it's something great. And I just want to thank you all for sharing what you did today. And if anyone ever wants to reach out and you want to do this again, this is what I do. I love creating rooms like this because it is a safe space. It is somewhere. I love creating those safe spaces. And if we ever say something that we may not want out, we can just keep this between us, and we don't have to even share this video just now. So this is what I do. On my Motivation Mondays with Better You Solutions, this is what I do. We have face-to-face rooms like this every Monday. And that's my niche. That's my purpose, I believe, on earth, is creating those rooms, creating those safe spaces where we can all grow. So thank you. And that's all for today, ladies. Bye.